Okay, hi. So welcome to the land of under my desk. Um, this is gonna be one of those uncut, one take videos that sounds kind of rambly and off topic and unscripted, and like a flat earth, you know. I mean, if you've ever watched people debunking like flat earth videos, they sound just like this. They take their phone out, they have a long discussion about stuff. Okay, the lighting under here is really bad. So where to begin? Ah, so in order to create false laser light, in order to test my dorky but still top secret invention that I may or may not, but probably leaning towards may, patent. So it's a dorky invention. It's my invention. It's top secret, and also knowing my luck, I mean I haven't checked to make sure nobody else has made it, but I'm still keeping it secret. Anyways, this is not that. This is a light colimator to make false laser light um, in order to test my invention. And I will try to get that working. What you see here is, and I bought this like months before COVID-19 was like even in the news. This is one of those little eye test pens. Um, so it's very unfocused and diffuse, as you can tell. Now, hold on. So let's come down here and hold on. I mean, I don't have 4 arms, and I normally do this with 2 arms. So we put it in the lower left corner, and I mean, try to do this with one hand without breaking the darn thing. Was it lower left or was it lower right? I think it was lower right, and then it comes up out of the upper left. Okay, I am so sorry about this. Being slow and awkward, I mean. This is actually kind of cool once we get it to work. Okay, and 1 second, I'm gonna pause this and tape this to the inside of that. Bear with me. Okay, it's not very securely in there. It's a combo of my tape and my hands. Now, as you can see, the land of my desk has a little square moving around underneath it. So what we do is we put light into the lower left corner, as you saw me attempting to do, and it comes out of the upper right. Let me see if I can demonstrate that. Okay. Oh, this is such an awkward video. So basically, I used this giant tube to create a handheld laser pointer with a square aperture. It's kind of cool. Hold on. I'm gonna set it down so we could take a look at it with the pen in there. Let's have it aim at my printer. Okay. Okay, so we've got the pen in this corner of the square. Now we're gonna go over here, and it's coming out of this corner of the square. So we got it in the lower left. Well, right now it's relatively lower left. If you twisted, it's lower right. Now it's coming out of the upper right. This, let me take the pen out so we can illuminate the scene now. Okay. So this is, I think it's 180 degrees, or it's the same internal angle as an octagon, but it takes light and it bounces it well, from this perspective, it bounces it left, then forward for a bit, then up at this consistent octagonal angle, then left, then forward for a bit, then up, and so on. The longer we do it, the more collimated the beam will get. Well, except for the fact that my engineering tolerances are really low, and this thing's all lopsided like Willy Wonka's house. It's not supposed to be, I mean, not Willy Wonka's house, but that house from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. You know what I mean. It's rickety. It's a low precision device, but it's cool. I wanted to share this non-invention tool that I created in order to use my invention. Because I don't know if this is something that I've I don't know if this is something that other people already have, and if I'm just like discovering it on my own because I'm like cool enough to discover things on my own, or if this is like a brand new thing that I should have actually used as an invention, like as a separate invention to make money off of. Oops. But I mean, it's so useful, and you can literally make it out of craft supplies. And it's just nifty. So yeah. Let me try to show you what it looks like when you look through it. I'm gonna take this pen and I'm gonna put it facing the camera all the way at the end here. And then we're gonna point our light collimator at it. It's like a weird, like, distorted telescope here. I don't know if you can, okay. I'm looking through it at the moment. Like Sprite, okay. And then I gotta help my phone look through it. I mean, it's kind of hard. Yeah, like I said, unscripted. Okay, so we're going in, and wait. Oh, yep, that little pinpoint of light at the end there. Yep, that's what I'm trying to get. So, oh, right there. That little twinkle inside the box. I don't even know if I can get it to focus on it, but it was there for a split second. It's, yeah, hold on. Let's get this closer, and then let's hone it first. There we go. You can see the light just barely. And then as we pull out, oh, it's perfect. Oh, but we're losing alignment. Oh, because my hands are twitching. Oh my gosh, you see that? Oh, that's so cool. So on this YouTube channel called The Action Lab, I was watching the guy, and he pretended that he made like the darkest pigment ever, which is Vanta Black, but like some dude owns a copyright on it, so it's like hard to get your hands on. Anyways, but in reality, what he did was he used like a cheaper dark pigment, and he like painted a large box like black on the inside, and then he cut like a tiny rectangular slit into that box. So like, because it's a flat slit on a flat surface, it looked like super dark paint, but it was just a simulation. And something similar is happening here, I think, where each one of these 180-degree cuts to the side is basically like a super like open cave. So like the light on the end seems brighter by comparison, but also light that doesn't follow that path gets trapped zigzagging around until it decides to, well, not until it decides, but until by pure chance it winds up being obedient to the path that we want it to travel along, which, due to the way that this is going down and to the side, or up and to the other side, depending on how you look at it, it's a twist. It's just a series of 90-degree twists. It creates a really interesting situation where what I think is happening, because I don't actually know, um, the light is... I lost my train of thought. See, I told you it'd be unscripted. But the light winds up coming out of the corner, and you have to put the light into the opposite corresponding corner. But it winds up traveling in a straighter... Like, light always travels in a straight path. The problem is that it's being emitted from a spherical, like, surface, or semi-spherical surface, so it's lots of different photons traveling in lots of different straight paths. But you take something sloppy like this, you put it into the filter tube, and then, or it's actually called the light colimator, but it's basically a type of filter. And then this wonky sideways light has no choice but to bounce into the walls until it escapes, and the easiest way to escape is the other end of that tube. However, if your tube is not totally opaque, light will escape through the sides, which is why this is all shiny and silver. It's not all shiny. It's not... Okay, some of the silver is from duct tape, but some of the silver is because I'm using, like, a craft foil paper. And the interesting thing about that is it's not just the metal side that's highly reflective. The opposite side is like regular paper with a high albedo, so it doesn't glare. It like softens the image and like disperses the photons at an even more like chaotic like collection of unpredictable angles, which I think makes the device more efficient. You can tell me if I'm wrong though. And because there is a layer of metal, regardless of which size you're using, it's still about as opaque as a layer of metal. So the only place where we lose light is the seams, where I've like stitched the thing together. I even have a really cool template for the thing, but I didn't think to drag that out here. And I mean, my room is where I film, and on the opposite side of my room, and you can't see it, is parts for my invention, and they're secret, so I'm being careful to film under my desk just because I don't got a lot of real estate, and, you know, creativity's taking over my room. But, yeah. Cool, right? Or maybe you're gonna tell me that it's not cool, but, yeah. I was also going to use magnetic tape. I've already tested this mechanism, and some little like paper, like, hard to explain, but basically I was going to extrude a flat plane up from the edges of this square, and then I was going to put one strip of magnetic tape going diagonally, and then I was going to create a notched aperture with a 90-degree cut, and that was going to be able to slide back and forth between the corner of the box where the light beam escapes from the tube. Sorry, I said box, but it's a tube. And then that way we can collimate it, like, you know, confine it even more. And then on the opposite end where we put the pen, I was going to poke it through an aluminum sheet, and then poke a second aluminum sheet through it, and then, you know, use a liberal amount of duct tape so that the light is forced to expand back and forth until it eventually... I mean, it's not going to create a laser beam, because it's just not going to be stubborn enough, and there's too many different filters in here. I mean, filters. What was I trying to say? Sorry. Unscripted. That was a faux pas. I mean, whatever. No. That was a mistake. Instead of filters, I meant to say there's too many different wavelengths of light in this beam. Laser beams are normally like the same wavelength, and so it should be a little bit safer than a laser, but I mean, I don't know for sure, especially because this one isn't very efficient at what it does, but it's still very cool, and it meets the needs that I think I need it to meet. I stayed up finishing this thing off, and I guess I just wanted to brag before going to bed. Yeah, I'll show it off to people. Sorry if my carpet's dirty. The cats hang out here in my lab/bedroom. So yeah, all right.